Welcome to the Grace Street Church of Christ podcast. Here you will find a collection of our weekly sermons, our preacher's daily radio program, and other occasional resources. Our hope is this platform helps you grow in your relationship with Jesus Christ and seek a relationship with His church.
We read the story of Jesus' encounter with 10 lepers from the record in Luke chapter 17 yesterday. And what we discovered was that as Jesus was on or en route to Jerusalem, he encountered a group of lepers, men who had contracted at some point in their life one of the most horrible diseases of their time. And I say one of the most horrible diseases because leprosy was in its various forms, in addition to being physically painful and in addition to being incurable, was a disease that resulted in a life of absolute separation from society. You know, we don't know anything about the background of these 10 men, and certainly they weren't the only 10 lepers in that part of in Israel. But one could assume that at least some number of this 10, if not all of them, had, because of their disease, been forced to separate themselves, to isolate themselves from their family, from their friends, from their former jobs and careers. In other words, from everything about living life normally, and had to be secluded on the outskirts of town and were only allowed to approach people from a distance and shout to them. It's hard to imagine a life of isolation like these men had endured, the separation that was now part of their life. And finding the opportunity, finally, and again, we don't know how long they'd suffered from this condition, but it really is insignificant, I think, in the grand scheme of things, how long they'd had leprosy. The point was they found themselves in an incurable, isolated, hopeless condition. And because of this, they took every opportunity, I'm certain, to reach out for someone to help, for someone to do something. And of course, in all cases except their encounter with Jesus, any request that they had for help beyond someone leaving them food or something of that nature would have gone unanswered. And yet here, in this event, in this record, in this encounter, they got exactly what they asked for. They asked for mercy. They asked for pity. And, you wonder how they knew that Jesus had the capacity, or what capacity he had to resolve their problem or their situation or cure their disease. But I strongly suspect they'd heard, that they'd gotten news somehow that Jesus was becoming famous for his power in solving unsolvable problems.
You've been listening to the Grace Street Church of Christ podcast. Our weekly worship services are available online on YouTube, and you can keep up to date on other events and news on our Facebook page or website. If you live in the Houston County area and are looking for a church family, please join us on Sundays at 10:45 a.m. for worship and Bible classes at 9:30 a.m. as well as 6 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday nights. Call us at 936-544-3325 or email us at office@gracestreetcoc.us with any needs, questions, or prayer requests. We hope this teaching has been a blessing to you as we strive to honor God together.